High School Musical was probably one of my most watched movies as a kid growing up. And I have not watched it since, so I want to see today, hey, is this movie actually still good, or is it terrible? Also, I'm about to change clothes really magically, and this room's gonna get completely empty, so if that happens, please don't be alarmed. It's definitely not because I'm filming this 2 months later. The movie starts off with Vanessa Hudgens' Gabriella and Zac Efron's Troy on family vacation on New Year's Eve 2005. Now, Troy and his dad are playing basketball, and their mom is, well, not their mom, his mom is pretty pissed off.
We really fly all this way to play more basketball?
And it's on New Year's Eve. So, she forces Troy to go to the kids' party, which he's not too thrilled about.
Kids party?
As well, Gabriella's mom is pissed off at her for reading a book like a loser on New Year's Eve.
It's New Year's Eve. Enough reading.
So basically, Gabriella and Troy get forced to go to the same party. And who would guess? It's a karaoke party, and both of them are forced to sing. And I'll tell you right now, they're reluctant to do so. I don't know about you, but when someone shines a bright light in my face, I don't just stare up at it. Like if someone was shining a light on me, and it was just like, I would not just be like, what's over there? I would probably try and look maybe anywhere else that I could see. I don't know what's going on with that, but Gabriella needs to learn how to fucking look around. Now, Troy reluctantly kills his first verse, and man, is he embarrassed by his own actions. He's about to leave the stage until Gabriella saves the day. Suffice to say, the two of them absolutely crush it, and they have this unbelievable bond immediately. And I'm gonna be honest though, if you watch the background extras, they are way too into this karaoke. I don't know if anyone's gone to a karaoke like bar or club, but there is not this much dancing when there's people singing karaoke, because normally that shit's ass. So you can already, you already know what we're about to be in. And after the New Year's countdown, they don't kiss because it's a kids movie, you sick fuck. If you want to see kids, whoa, where was that going? I don't even know. Let's not. Anyways, they exchange phone numbers, never to see each other again. Until the first day of school back from winter break. This is also when we're introduced into the Evans twins. We got Sharpay and Ryan.
You know, she probably spent the holidays, what she always does, shopping for mirrors.
That's not even a good one. Ooh, whoa, she fucking looks at herself in the mirror, dude. What a pussy. I would never do that. Not only did Gabriella transfer to the same school as that guy she met at that New Year's party and sang a karaoke with, but they're in the same homeroom. Okay, this needs to be addressed, but why the hell is Chad wearing 3 watches? That makes no sense. Like, are they different time zones? Is it like, does he have girlfriends in different parts of America that he needs to keep track of what time zone they're on? Like, what's going on with that? So at this point in the movie, we're introduced to Sharpay's role. And she is the main antagonist for basically Troy and Gabriella's relationship. She's always trying to butt her way in, flirt with Troy, get under Gabriella's skin, basically like just a grade A bitch. Also, this is stupid, but what the fuck are the names underneath Sharpay's name? I've been looking at this for like 25 minutes. The only thing I figured out is the name on the bottom, the Rickert? That's the closest I've came to like discerning an actual. This is literally Russian handwriting. Now, on top of figuring out who the main antagonist is, you've probably already figured out the main conflict. Troy realized he has a passion for singing, but he's too embarrassed because he's the typical popular guy, Justin Bieber hair, sports ball, getting hoops kind of guy. And Gabriella also found her love for singing, but she's the nerd. That's kind of it. She's just smart. Like, she's like, I gotta focus on school. High school is important, but it's not that important. Because even the people you're in high school with, for the most part, aren't very important unless you have like a core group of people. But a lot of times they just move away anyways, and you kind of have like a long distance relationship. You text them once a month, and then they never text you back, and then it kind of gets really uncomfortable. And you're like, hey, did you check out the song I sent you? And they're like, no, I haven't listened to it yet. I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. We should hang out when you're in town. And they're like, yeah, I probably won't be in town for a while. And then you're like, oh, cool. And then you're like in your mid-20s, you don't really have many friends that you see with anymore, and it's just kind of sad. Most of the time, that doesn't really happen. So don't take high school too seriously. Now we get the most iconic song in the High School Musical trilogy, Get Your Head in the Game. Unfortunately, I will not be playing it because Disney's a motherfucker.
Get my head in the game.
Shouldn't the second equation read 16 over pi?
That's quite impossible.
Could you imagine a teacher being like, Yeah. That's quite impossible. I would ever make a writing error. Great job, Gabriella. That's how you know, that's when you know she's really, that's how you know she's a smarty pants. That's when you know. She's a smart girl. She can correct the teacher. Straight up fuck people who corrected the teacher. I corrected the teacher, so I'm allowed to say that. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how ethical this whole part is, but basically, when all the students get sent to detention, you're probably thinking, wow, they got stuck inside their class. And I would say you're absolutely wrong. The musical theater lady have to work on the sets, which is crazy, because I just thought detention would stay after class like an hour, and they're like, don't do it again. But it's like, also low-key, the principal's a bucket. He actually kind of hit like a deep shot with like on a mini net. That's actually kind of hella impressive, but we don't have to talk about that. The most unrealistic part of this movie is undoubtedly Troy's house. Look at this thing. Massive front windows with a basketball court in the backyard with like brick everywhere. His dad is a high school basketball coach. Presumably he's the gym teacher. What the fuck does their mom do? This is what we really want to know. So back to the actual plot of the movie. Troy really wants to audition for the musical, but unfortunately, he doesn't want anyone to know. So he does this James Bond, just the coldest escape. Chad wears the worst t-shirts I've ever seen throughout this entire series. I come with my own background music. Come on, man. Like, no one wore those. After a bunch of terrible auditions, Sharpay and Ryan do a nice performance. Then, last second, Troy and Gabriella get to do their audition. And wouldn't you know it, they get a callback.
Bolton, Montez, you have a callback.
Now, after Sharpay's freakout, the basketball team just happens to be walking by, and suffice to say, they're not too happy with Troy. You can only play basketball, Troy. There's no singing for you, you pussy. Following this, one of the most iconic songs in the franchise, besides Get Your Head in the Game, comes on. And basically, it's just about don't ever try anything new and stick to what you know. Oh. No harmful message there. Like, that's kind of the point. But like, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I don't know why Troy being like, I just want to sing and play basketball, all of a sudden, everyone in the school is doing like crazy confessions. I don't know if Troy's that she's calling as an FBI interrogator, because he's getting these dark secrets. Like, this fucking stoner guy plays the tuba, and everyone's like, whoa, you can't play instruments, you smoke pot and skateboard, dude. One of the basketball player bakes. You can't bake and play basketball? Dude, are you a girl? One of the smart girls. Whoa, wait for this. She break dances. If you're smart, keep your nose in a book, not your feet on the dance floor. At the very end of the musical number, somebody's hand smacks Gabriella's nachos, they magically transform into chili fries, and they get all over Sharpay. Honestly, nothing more than that. It's not really relevant to the plot. Like, nothing really crazy comes from this, but just like, what the fuck are they serving those children that can transform in the air from nachos to chili fries? That doesn't make any sense. And then Troy slips a note into Gabriella's locker, and they have a secret meetup on the rooftop greenhouse that apparently no one knows about. And I don't know about you guys, but if your school had a rooftop like this, every single student would have been banging in this thing. There's no cameras, no teacher supervision. It's just easy access on the roof. This place would have been disgusting. But Troy and Gabriella luckily have it to themselves, and this gives them the heart-to-heart. Troy's always been the basketball guy. Troy and Gabriella have both accepted they both really want to be a part of the musical, and they've now been training with their pianist, secretly keeping it hidden from the basketball team and Sharpay and Ryan. This is when the classic Disney argument goes, that's not my dream, Dad, that's yours. But instead of that, it's, I can sing and play basketball, Dad. And he goes, no.
Not a singer. Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
With this being said, a nerd and a basketball player singing together? No way! This can't happen. So the basketball team and the nerds team up together to keep the nerd and the basketball player from singing together. Don't think about it too much, because if you do, it won't make any sense. This is the worst strategy ever. On a side note, how does Troy not notice this webcam? Also, what webcam are they using? That is nicer than the one I'm using to film this video. That is crisp image. 2006 low-key had good cameras. What changed? What happened? No one would ever talk about a girl they like, okay, maybe someone would. Most people wouldn't talk about a girl they like this.
Gabriella is not important.
I'll forget about her. I'll forget the audition, and we'll go out and get that championship.
So, Gabriella has an emotional breakdown and sings a song about it, and happens to walk by the most ridiculous poster of the basketball team I've ever seen in my entire life. First off, there is no shot that guy can actually dunk. And why is Troy so much bigger than everyone else? I understand he's the main character and he's the point guard, but like the whole point of a team is that you're all equal, even if someone is better. I need to stop smashing my fists together like this. Because Gabriella and Troy are now fighting, he has to figure out how to get back. Like how can he make this right? And you're probably thinking, flowers? Chocolates? Maybe a sweet treat? Maybe a nice gesture? Or is it calling her and being on her back porch? First off, she has a back porch. She has a deck off of her bedroom. What the hell are all these parents doing? If I was in a fight with my girlfriend at the time, if I'm in a fight with my girlfriend, like, oh, yeah, like, you just fucking did that. That's crazy, you did that. And she showed up outside my window, like, please let me in. I don't think I'd be too happy, and I really don't think Gabriella would appreciate if Troy was like, hey, you look really cute tonight. What do I know? Apparently she's really into it. Not to mention, Troy has the audacity to pull up in a Canadian tuxedo. You're appropriating my culture, motherfucker. You better take that shit right off. Suffice to say, Troy works his magic with a little smoochy and a little don't do that under a glass table type business. The nerds and the basketball team are united to make sure Troy and Gabriella can attend their Scholastic Decathlon, callback day, and the championship game. And hopefully it goes off without a hitch. Obviously, it's unrealistic that all three of these things happen on the same day, and it's all crazy, and it all works out perfectly. Like, okay, spoilers, sorry, it works out perfectly. I apologize. But this one part's always bothered me. This is one of the worst pump-up speeches from a coach to a player I've ever seen.
Because what I really want is to see my son having the time of his life playing the game we both love. And I will sleep with a smile on my face no matter how the score comes out.
Don't get me wrong, it's really great he wants his son to have fun playing basketball, but he wants to be able to sleep happy knowing his son had fun. Like, no, it's not about that. It's just about your son having fun playing basketball. It doesn't matter how it affects you, because how it affects your son. Am I on a line here? Is this are we all taking crazy pills right now? Like, what's happening? While the decathlon and the basketball game are occurring, Sharpay and Ryan have a slightly offensive musical number. Mucho gusto.
Que fabulosa!
Then the decathlon ends. Halfway through the basketball game, there's a blackout, so the basketball team can make it to the musical. Then Troy and Gabriella perform in a lab coat and tracksuit, which is no one has any questions about. Like, I thought musicals had costumes. Like, is this just an audition? Like, is this a rehearsal? I guess they don't need actual costumes. And then, luckily, they make it back to the basketball game once the power's on, and they win the big game. Then they do the most disrespectful move I have ever seen. I'm all for celebrating, but imagine losing a basketball game. You're like, oh man, we almost got the championship. My full ride scholarship to Duke was on this. Now they're not gonna want to pick me because I'm terrible at basketball. And then the entire school does a synchronized dance number. The whole team would just be like, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of these guys after this. There'd be a scrap in the parking lot after that. This is just the most disrespectful move I've ever seen in my entire life. And don't think I forgot the original Avengers end credit scene. Sharpay being obsessed with this guy's cookies. And he flexes a creme brulee, and they definitely don't bang on the gym floor in a pile of balloons. I'll leave that up for you guys to figure out. Overall, I don't really have a problem with the movie. Is the movie good? Yeah. Is it enjoyable? Yeah. Should it win an Academy Award? No. I think from a pure nostalgic view, it's very good. If I had like 10-year-old kids right now, I think this movie would still slap. So that means, does it hold up? Absolutely. Do I like this movie? Totally. Would I watch it again? Maybe in like a couple months I might. I do sort of miss this Disney Channel movies when they were good, because I forget which one I was watching recently, but some of the new Disney Channel movies are terrible. Teen Beach Movie, I think, was the last one I really liked. After that, they've all sort of just gone downhill, and it's kind of sad because the state of the movies is, they used to be so much fun, they were good, like the budget's clearly low, like they filmed this in one school, and a ski lodge, and Troy's mansion, and I guarantee Gabriella's mansion was the other side of the mansion we didn't get to see. It's crazy, like Disney parents be making money. Anyways, it's still a super fun movie. I don't really see why people would hate this. People who don't like musicals, I never understood that. Why are you disliking a musical? Because they sing? Do you not like music? Or just like fun? I understand. Okay, I understand if you wouldn't like High School Musical if you're like a 30-year-old man, but like hating on just musicals as a whole seems so crazy to me. I'm not even a theater kid. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I love making movie narration videos and stuff like this. If you have any comments, please let me know. I'm always looking to improve and change things I talk about. Or if you have any unique perspectives, let me know too. Do you agree with what I said? If you didn't, let me know. If you do, definitely let me know. I need my ego gassed up. Anyways, I hope everyone has a fantastic day or evening. Stay safe. Peace.
A message from the Government of Canada.